Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy. We are back. Finally taking a look at another Transformer. This Transformer has given me such a headache trying to do this video. So I am so excited to get it on this take. I am so excited to nail this and get it right. Everybody, welcome to the Back and Forth channel. I am your host, Secret Guy. We are so happy to have you here to take a look at this Dark of the Moon Voyager class Sentinel Prime with the DNA upgrade kit. Compliments of one of the best subscribers in the world and a great friend, 1DB. You know who you are. What's up, man? How you doing? Thank you so much for this donation for this video. It is awesome. So let's take a look at this figure. I love the paint deco on this. I like the red and the crimson and kind of gray black. We'll say black. I love the, let's take a look at this shield. Let's get some of these weapons out of his hands. One of the things I'll mention real quick. Oh, by the way, stick around till the end of the video because how else are you going to see the ridiculous size comparison we always do? So stick around till the end so you can see that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like this kind of stuff, please do. Become part of the secret society is what I'm calling it right now. Become part of the secret society, the first 1,000. You could be part of the original core. So here's the DNA shield. I don't know if you caught how I took that off, but instead of just pulling it out, it's got this peg. And so I reached in, grabbed the peg, and I just kind of held the arm so that I could pull the peg out itself, just to avoid any breakage in any of these small areas. That and being wonderfully respectful of the fact that this isn't mine. So we're going to put that off to the side over there. Stacks on stacks on stacks. Duty. And then we're going to bring these, take a look at this awesome sword that he has as well. Will you stand for stacks on stacks on stacks? Duty. Boom. Sort of. Good. I think you might have an arm out of. All right. Let's fix your arms here so you're standing. So cool. So cool. Oh, first camera hit. How bad was it? Barely did anything. I think I might have just moved it back and forth. Whatever. Hey, that's the name of the channel. The Back and Forth channel. Sick. All right, so here is the DNA double blade with these knuckle duster spikes, which is awesome. Ow, face punch from this is imminent damage. And presumably these are pegged, keyed so that they can go into something, this or something else. But yeah, they're keyed to probably go together, and they come apart nicely. And again, you've got on these DNA kits, they've got this gold accenting, which is gorgeous. The gold, the crimson, the silver, and or the black go very, very well together. They definitely should have put some of that gold on the figure, and we will touch base on that a little later on. Here's the last of those DNA weapons. This is the DNA null ray cannon, or I don't know, whatever the hell this is. DNA cannon. You know what this looks like? You take this off, and that is the away shuttle from Star Trek. Minus this, or even a light speeder from Star Wars. But they're not called light speeders, are they? The little A cruisers that you'd have to wrap the cable around the walkers, the ATSTs and the ATATs. Anyway, that's the DNA other weapon. Here, of course, is his original bladed weapon. And oh, it's also got, I never noticed that it has the same kind of knuckle duster things on it, just a much smaller version of them. Whack. I've already taken it apart and I've already folded these in at 90 to have them ready for the vehicle transformation. And speaking of transformation, let's do it. Let's go. 420 in and we decide to get it together. So here is the figure. This is Sentinel Prime. Oh, picturesquely looking just off to the side. Let's get that head in so that we can take a nice good look at that head sculpt. Now, interesting fact, he shows up in Dark Side of the Moon. This is when we learn that he is indeed an ultra dubious figure. Links up with Megatron right away to try to murk Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime does the old double cross. Him and Megatron end up absolutely obliterating Senti here. And so he gets got for all of his Judas-like attributes and characteristics. Now, in the movie, Leonard Nimoy, or Spock from Star Trek, plays the voice of this figure. And they made his face kind of look like him at the age he was, sort of. And they were doing that at this time. They started to make the Transformers from here on in try to kind of look like the people that they were voicing. This was a terrible mistake. However, R.I.P. Leonard Nimoy, you are the most logical. So, some of the detailing I really, really do enjoy. A lot of this, you know, cabling and stuff like that, and just some of the detailing up inside there, which you can barely see. We've got these hip skirts that are supposed to be out. Whatever, I'm just going to put them in now. This giant crotch horn is crazy work. And then you've got demon feet, which is crazy as well. Cicada wings on the back, which come out once every 7 years or something like that. And then you've got some hosing, you've got some ankle flaps, some nice detailing there with the numbers. One of my counterparts, MGO, talks about how terrible the paint scheme is on this, particularly once you get it into the alt mode. And we will talk about that when we get there, because it is indeed rather bland. So let's do it, let's go, let's transform this thing. Everything goes back and forth on the channel. So the first thing we're going to do here, we're going to just straighten these arms out, just so that they're ready to go. And we're going to bring these shoulder pads down. 1, 2, just like that. If you push them too far, they do like to pop off. Not a big deal. They come back on pretty easily. Okay. And then after that, we are going to open up the chest panel. 1 and 2. And just the red parts, not the gray parts behind them. And then you're going to bring these arms up like this and angle these forearms down. So arms, biceps kind of at 180, and then angle these arms down. And that's just to put them together a little later on. We're going to come to the back here in a second. We're going to swing these arms out at 180, just like that on those double hinges. Then we're going to come to the back. We're going to get this put together, which sometimes can be finicky, but I find the more you do it, the more accepting it is of its position. There you go. I think it went in. Yeah. Clipped in there nice. We can put that back down. And then we're going to unclip this back section, and that will allow this whole front section to disengage, unless I've forgotten a part, but this whole front section should, there we go. This section disengages like that, comes forward on this, making a big mess, and that's going to give us the clearance to, actually we don't even have to worry about that yet. Let's finish up with these arms. Nope, we do have to worry about this yet. Come back to the front. So we're going to open these silver parts here, these gray chest pieces, and that'll allow us to flip this head down. Now this part here is on a rocker, this rocker part. So in order to close these, you have to have, and this is when we're going back. So you know what, I'll talk about it then. So you open up the gray panels, drop this head down inside there. And people often do this at a different point, but I'm going to spin the lower torso now 180 degrees so that I can now get this front section over these doors. It's of mention these doors need to be in their open position. If one closes like that, it's very hard to fish out once you close this section. So I'm just going to see if I can get it on the first shot, which is pretty rare. Nope, I want it to fold in there. That's not right. Very strange. There we go. Just squeeze it into place. This doesn't want to go together yet. So I'm going to put these arms in. I'm going to come to the back of this. like that, just to get these tabs kind of lined up on the side. There's some there as well. Then there's a sliding tab right there between the forearms. So we'll just slide that together. We'll drop these fists on the posts up at the top. Let's back up so you can see what we're doing. And that is pretty much that arm section. Now, we should be able to, yep, click that into place, lift up these little mirrors like that. And now we can go back down to the bottom and work. So, the legs. Let's separate them here. You want to lift up this shin panel, tilt the foot downwards at an angle like that. So there's 180, there's horizontal, and then just down a bit like that. And that's to make it through some clearance here, which I'll explain in a second. Let's flip this foot around 180. Then here's the leg here. Then let's unclip this from the leg. It was clipped into the side there so that we can, so that we can go like that and go like that. And then the shin part here, we just flip up because that's going to build the side of the bottom. And once you've done that, this toe's angled still. Let me move in a bit there, sorry. And you can clip this in here. There's a little tab right there that clips into place. And that is essentially one leg done, just like that. Let's do the same thing, second side, easy ride, let's go. Boing! Okay, so pull that shin up, drop that down, spin the rest of the leg 180 degrees, and then unclip this. As you can see I have, swing it down and swing it out, like that. This thing too, we're going to bring this flap up just like that. And then let's bring that shin back down. Sorry about that, the view here. Clip it into place, squeeze it down, and that's that leg. Now, we can kind of bring these legs together, straighten them out some. And I like to come to the back. And there is, just a second here, let's get these up here. There's another little sliding tab right there in the middle. So I'm going to do that now, just to get me some stability. Every time I put these together, this side panel comes off. Not a big deal at all. It clips right in there very easily. Okay, so the legs are put together now. We're going to squeeze this ladder section together. Okay. Now, this part's a little weird. There is a, let's see if we can get a good shot at port right there where I'm touching. And there is a tab buried in here, right in there. You can see it right there. You got to fold that up on this double hinge system to end up in there. So to do that, not like this, but you kind of fold it down and in, and there you go. I could feel it go in there. And the last part is just to move these, clip there, tab there, tab there, tab there in the corner, tab there in the corner, there and there as well, and there. And we're just going to put all that together. Should go together in one shot when you do it this way. Yep, it did. So it's of mention when you're squeezing these together, do not put any pressure on these rails. They're very likely to bend or break. So I put a finger in here on the actual structure itself, and then one kind of underneath, and just kind of squeeze, because I know I'm not going to bend anything there. I can do the same on this side. Let's see if you can see that gap close up as I do it. Indeed. Indeed. So that's it. It's together. Lastly, oh yeah, you've got these mirrors to go up as well. You can drop this hose out. Boom. And then you grab these guys. Half of his blades. That's the fastest I've ever put them on the right sides. And like I said before, you want to drop these, oh, I must have got a hit in there somewhere. You want to move these parts in at 90 so that they'll go into here. And then there's a couple tabs you just line up with that white strip. Push it in, don't push on these railings. That's it. Boom. Oh, yeah. Super cool fire truck, I think. I think it's some sort of insane fire truck with the most hoses and gadgets you've ever seen. I really do appreciate the detail work, but my man M goes right. They needed some other paint on this. Look at this thing. MC Drab is what this rapper's name would be. I like the accuracy on the different sizes of the ladders that go together. And this almost looks like from far away a Cobra logo, sort of. But anyway. Yeah, it is very drab. The colors are very drab. But the more I look at this alt mode vehicle, the more I like it, because there isn't much that is like it other than this, other than Sentinel. So I like it. It's pretty cool. Roll test. Let's see how he rolls. He does indeed roll. Oh, yeah, and actually really cool thing you can do with the DNA weapons upgrade kit. You can take the shield and the null ray, and you can actually put that together. And then you grab the sword and the other half, like this. Whoops, there's the 50th bonk. That was a significant bonk. Let me try to get my bearings back together. That's going to have to do. So you put these weapons all together for the DNA kit, and then you just snap them right on, just like that. And then this way you always know where your weapons are, and you're never going to lose them. Woohoo! Slice! All right, everybody, let's do it. Let's go from whence we came, back and forth on the back and forth channel. Okay, so how did we get here? Let's move all these weapons a little bit so I can get full view. And this size comparison at the end of the video, y'all are going to love. It is adorable. So let's just drop these mirrors down. Let's bring this back like so. Let's take off these bladed sort of weapons on either side of the vehicle. There was one there and one there. And I'm going to do legs first. And in order to do that, you just kind of wiggle, 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 and that whole part should come undone. Just like that. Swings out from that port, and we can just start here. Let's just do the legs. So first thing we're going to do is separate them here, and then at that sliding tab right there. And that separates those legs. And we're doing that just so we can work on one at a time. So first things first, untab this part of the leg, like so, and bring that foot up. Next, shin panel down. You want to bring this over like that. So I went like this, and then up like that. And you do that so that this tab in there will go into that slot. Clickety-click, barb a trick. Then you're going to swing this whole leg assembly 180. And there is a port for this tab right here. Tabbing cola. Okay, that's one leg. Ooh la la. Second side. Easy ride. I gotta stop singing stuff. So unclip this, foot up, drop this shin pad or shin plate, and come here and go swing, swing, 2 90-degree movements, and then tab it in. Move this whole thing 180 degrees to bring that tab forward, or that port, and push the leg down. That is it. The legs are done. So we can leave the legs here like this. They should look like that. They are done, other than these ass flaps back here, which we'll take out later. Let's move on to the rest of the vehicle, shall we? Let's. So let's pop these arms out. You can lift them off those posts, separate their sliding tab, and then undo all these tabs that went in. There you go. And that's a matter of swinging these arms out at 180 again, just like we did before. That'll allow you to break this and move it down. You can split this now, you can split this later, whenever you'd like. I'm just gonna go ahead and split it now. Cicada wings split. Okay. Now from here, we're going to separate this windshield portion. That's the reason I bring this down, is to get a finger in here so that I can push this up. It is a firm tab in, which I love. So I'm going to bring that forward, bring this out a little bit so that it's straight. We're going to do that for swinging clearance. Uno momento. We're going to bring this head up like that. Hey, what up, Senti? Now this part, so this rocks back and forth, yeah. So you can see that rocking motion right there. In order to get these gray doors closed properly, I believe it needs to be in the up position, like that. Or it might be the opposite. So let's go into the down position. No, either way, I think that we're supposed to swing that torso, or that lower part. So let's swing this 180 degrees. Clearance, clearance, yay. Okay, so we've got his torso in the right section. Now this whole thing swings back. I want you guys to be able to see that. It doesn't just go up, it swings back and then clips into place, like so. Then I think you want to do this. There's a port back there up top and a little tab right here, and you want to put this in it now, because I believe that's going to help it stay together and not separate here. So we're going to do that. Now, in order to get these panels in, is where this rocking part, because this whole assembly rocks back and forth, right? So let us go like this. There's one, there's two. Now you can bring these arms in, and there are a port there and a tab there. Bring that in like that. Swing the arms down, close this part of the chest. Same thing on the other side. I'm just going to show it to you so you can see it close, like that. And then we're going to swing this arm down, chest panel closed. And lastly, well, mostly, almost lastly, we're going to bring these 1980s shoulder pads up. Beautiful. Nice shoulder pads, buddy. And cicada wings, open, weirdo. That kind of clips in as well. And that's it, man. Winner, winner, chicken sandwich. Let's see if he does stacks on stacks on stacks. Duty, blam! He does? He does! He stands so nicely on stacks on stacks on stacks. Duty. Now, for these aforementioned ridiculous size comparisons. Now, a couple of them that we have are sick. We have to move this. We gotta move these weapons. Okay, first size comparison. Well, these are real size comparisons, okay? So the first size comparison is, where is he? He's hiding back here. Sorry about the sound change, is this guy. Let's put him here. Let's see, let's get him on camera. Hopefully you guys can see him there. But that is Sentinel Prime MechTech. Yeah, MechTech Sentinel Prime. You know, seeing these two guys side by side, man, does this ever look cartoonish and just incredibly whack next to this. This looks like they got it right. This looks like they just were having a bad day in the design department. Cat hair. So, yeah, I'm glad to have this MechTech figure, I guess, because I have a huge MechTech set. But, man, it looks whack. I mean, just incredibly whack next to this guy. So that's the MechTech with his giant, crazy MechTech weapon. Let's see if it'll MechTech. Will it MechTech? MechTech. Oh, it did it. Okay. And then here's another size comparison. I'm going to put this guy here for a minute so we can just kind of side by side them for a second while they're standing there. So that is this is the official main line with the DNA upgrade, which is all over here. Then this is like a $25 KO, which, oh, I can actually see that its midsection is separated. Whack. So anyways, there you go, $25 KO. And they do have some differences that are worth talking about, and we'll get there in a second. First, you got to check this out. Look at this. Look at these guys. Look at these two little matching Leonard Nimoys that I found. I mean, they're Sentinel Prime, so they had to go on the video. That's for sure. And guard the stacks on stacks on stacks, will you? And then for the ridiculous size comparison. No, not yet. I have to quickly show you a couple things about this fourth party, or third party, or whatever you want to call it. So one of the things I like about it, in comparison to, incidentally, this gorgeous figure is absolutely for sale right now. If anybody wants to pick it up, it is going for an amazing price considering what it comes with and that it's in mint condition. Please put a comment downstairs if you're interested, or contact me directly if you know me. Secret guy, that's for sure. And if not, we can figure it out somehow. So this figure, very, very similar. But I don't know if you can see that. The gold accenting that I mentioned earlier with the DNA kit is already on here. So one of the things of note is the black plastic on this figure is much more gray on this figure. The crimson is very similar. The paint is much better on this, much more precise than on here. But these gold accents, like that inside of the abs there is gold, where this is black. On the toes, there's that white paint on the toes, and on here there isn't. And I like that better. On there you've got that 31 on the inside of the shin and not on this main line. And they both have pretty similar crotch horns. The actual vehicles themselves, the robots themselves are very, very similar. Very similar. Personally, I definitely like this one a lot more. But in a pinch, this guy will do. He's pretty nice. He's pretty nice. I'll do a transformation of him sometime. Hello. Ooh, yuck. The face looks very sad. Okay, now for the ridiculous size comparison. Size comparison. Size comparison. Blam! Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone know what these are? These are the smallest, this is the smallest display of ring pops that you've ever seen. There is the size comparison. This week's size comparison. So let's drop that right there. Little. And that's the size comparison. Folks, I cannot believe any of you are still here. Anybody that is still here, man, you deserve a prize. If you can guess what Transformer I'm going to do in the comments downstairs, put it down there. If you can guess what I'm going to do next, you're going to get a prize sent to you, compliments of the Back and Forth channel and me, your host, Secret Guy. So do that. By all means, comment something downstairs. Say something. If you like this, share it with somebody, please. Share this with somebody that likes Transformers. Share this with somebody who likes really crappy videos, because this is it. Share it with somebody that you just care about and that you think would find this funny or get some value out of it. But the end of my videos is always the best. The thing I say last is always the best. If you haven't been told recently, love ya, Secret Guy out.